Hi everyone, it's Little Blue and you're listening to my podcast, aka Little Blue, on Monday. New start to a brand new week, and I hope everybody is okay. I hope everyone is fit and healthy, and everybody is now finding ways to process everything that is going on in a manageable and positive way. Managing our households, disciplining our households to the letter, which is something I'm feeling very strongly about at the moment. And just keeping our own self-care and well-being sort of a priority amongst everything else. So yeah, I hope you're doing okay. I really, truly do. I do have a few positive things that I've noticed online, as promised in my podcast yesterday. It's been quite a tough day, really. Baby Boo banged her head. I don't know if you saw that on Instagram, but we desperately needed to go to Sainsbury's. I didn't actually realise how close to being out of food that we were. So I had all the little things like bread and all of that sort of stuff. But when I opened the freezer today, I was like, we don't actually have anything for dinner. So I needed to do a big shop to sort of see us through for quite a lot of essentials. So off we popped to Sainsbury's, but we got to the end of the road. Her scooter tipped and she face planted into the ground. So yeah, bless her. She was fine, absolutely fine. Had a little bit of a nosebleed because she's scratched her nose, banged her head. Didn't bite her lip or anything like that, but we had a cuddle and she's cut her finger, and that's the only thing that she was worried about. So plaster on the finger and she was right as rain. But yeah, took her home again, got her cleaned up, and then we went to Sainsbury's and came straight home. And that's one discipline thing I think people are missing. You really do need to only go out when you need to go out. So don't go out every day for exercise because you're allowed to. If you wouldn't normally do that, don't do it. Because I am somebody that walks everywhere every day because I don't drive. So I walk about 5 miles in a day. That's usually the exercise I get. I'm not able to do that at the moment, and I am feeling the effects of that. I really am. So today I promised myself I would definitely get more active at home. I did a 15-minute workout. I used to be a Zumba instructor, so I kind of know what I'm doing on that respect. Did my 15-minute workout, built up a nice sweat, had my shower, and then we watched a couple of movies, had lunch, and then we went out to Sainsbury's and back. So, yeah, for me, I'm feeling a lot better today because I did do that exercise. But it's exercise I did at home. And there's a lot of online workshops. I know a lot of Zumba instructors. I know a lot of dance teachers, and they're all running classes at the moment. Not all of them are free, but there's part of me that wants to support my friends, and I want to pay for the lessons anyway. So a friend of mine, she's a dance instructor. She's charging £3 pay as you go for a lesson. You have a webcam so she can see you, so she can see what you're doing, make sure you're not going to injure yourself. And then you can see her. But it's £3 pay as you go, or you pay £25 for a month, and you can go to as many of her classes as you want, which she's got kids classes and adult classes and joint classes too, which is just incredible, really. So I'm going to look at her timetable tonight, and I'm going to schedule some stuff in. My old Zumba instructor, who is amazing, has just put that she's having a class on Thursday evening. If I can get Baby Blue to bed, I'm 100% joining that. I've got another Zumba instructor friend who I've never done one of her classes before, and I'm really, really want to do it. Hi, Kimmy, if you're listening. I really, 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 really want to do her class. So I'm going to schedule her in. So that's going to be one of my things tonight, is just working out fitness classes for the week and seeing if I can fit everyone in. And then obviously you've got the big names. You've got the Joe Wicks thing. There's a ballet tutorial. I think she's called the Ballet Coach. She's doing ballet for children, but also I think for adults too. Then you've got people like Diane Buswell, Oti Mabuse, Jeanette Manrara, Shirley Ballas, Gorka. All the Strictly types are doing their own thing over on YouTube. So if you do want to keep your fitness up, you don't have to go out to do it. That's basically what I'm saying. And we have been going out every day for a short walk, but it is a short walk. It is literally a circuit of where we live. and then back again. The only time we went on a long walk was when I was doing a food drop to my parents because they live out of town. But even that for me was a short walk. And we got the bus back, which was empty. So yeah, please, when you're managing your household and when you're managing yourselves, think before you leave the front door, is this a necessity? Do I have to go out? Do I have to put myself in danger? Do I have to put other people in danger if I've got it? Blah, blah, blah. Really think about these things. It may seem dramatic. It may seem OTT. But in the time we're living, I actually said this to my friend just now, in the times we're living in right now, it's actually a little better to be a little paranoid about this. If you do have a slight tickly cough, don't go out, stay in, be strict, be in isolation, get people to bring you shopping, do the food deliveries, etc., etc. Just play it safe. Don't go, oh, it's just a cough, I'm still going to go out. Don't do it. It's not worth it. It really isn't. And I've been reading stories of NHS workers today, which have been heartbreaking. Heartbreaking and some really warming, which I'll get to in a minute. But also I've been speaking to a lot of my friends and family who are key workers right now. I've got so many people around me who are still doing that frontline job, and it may seem extreme to say it, but they are putting their lives at risk just by going to work every day. Some of them are split up from their families, or they're not even allowed contact with people in their own household because their household have somebody in who is high risk, or for whatever reason. So it's tough. And I've got a cousin who's a chemist. They've all said to me, work is really tough right now. That is the one thing they've all said. I'm like, I'm not surprised, but you guys are superheroes. None of them feel like superheroes. None of them feel that they're doing an amazing job because they're just doing their job. But for those of us sort of sat back and watching, it really is. So if you are a key worker, and I know there's some of you listening, you're incredible. And I have every admiration for you. And thank you for working your arses off. Thank you for still going to work and making sure that we can still... as a country, can still run. There are so many of us that can't help. Well, we can help. We can help by staying in, as my cousin Katie said to me today. That is the way you can help, is by staying in and being disciplined and sticking to the rules. But yeah, if you work in a shop, if you are a postman, if you're a chemist, if you're a binman, if you are a bus driver. I keep waving at the bus drivers at the moment because they're sitting on empty buses going up and down, but they're still doing it because there are elderly people who can still get out but don't drive. And it's amazing. I mean, the other day we used a bus the other day. It was completely empty, but yeah, thank you to everybody who is a necessity and is keeping this country running. The NHS, it goes without saying, really. I wish there was more I could do than just clap once a week for you guys. I really wish there was. But I've got a 4-year-old and I've got to think of her. I've got to be disciplined. I've got to think of myself because I have asthma as well. And my friends and family. So, yeah. My main message here is please be cautious. And please, please, please be over the top. Be a little bit paranoid, because it's better to be safe than sorry. And that phrase has never meant as much as it does. It really doesn't. Anyway, I'm going to stop telling everyone off and being negative. Well, I'm not really being negative, but and I did find a few positive things online today, which I thought I would bring up and focus on. I didn't find too many, but tomorrow I will keep a conscious eye out for everything. One thing I wanted to make, something that actually happened to us was the other day we did a Waitrose shop for my mum and dad because they were running out of food. So we did a food drop for them. They shop in Waitrose. So went to Waitrose, and while we were there, I accidentally caught Baby Blue with the basket when she was sort of sat on the floor having a bit of a paddy. And I picked the basket up. I hadn't realised where she was, and I caught her just the corner of her cheek. She was fine. But one of the store assistants saw her crying and that I was struggling to calm her down and stuff like this. and she gave her this little toy chick that I think they're giving out for free as part of a colouring competition. But it was so lovely, and she absolutely adores this little Easter chick. It's gorgeous. And we saw the lady who gave it to her today in passing, and she was just shouting, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." And it was just so lovely. And these wonderful, wonderful workers in the supermarkets right now are really going through it. They're really going through it. And I've heard so much horrible abuse coming from people, which is disgusting. But they can still show kindness to their customers. And that was just so moving. And everybody in Waitrose that day was really positive, was really happy. And my shopping experiences, Sainsbury's, Waitrose, I think they're the only two I've been in actually, everything's been so positive. And people are keeping lighthearted, and that in itself just rubs off onto you. So yeah, again, thank you to everyone. So there are loads of stories of people helping the NHS as well. Like there was a nurse story I shared to my Facebook page today, Little Blues Thank You, if you want to follow, where a nurse had got off her shift and every single member of staff on shift had been given a paper bag of fruit, veg and perishables. So the healthy foods that they can't get hold of because they're on shifts and they can't necessarily get there before it runs out in the supermarket. And this nurse was just crying her eyes out because she was so grateful, and there were like tomatoes in there and herbs and fresh everything, really good quality as well, not just the cheap stuff. But she said there were food parcels for every single member of staff. I mean, whoever it was, I think it was just one person that did that as well. Somebody with the money and the thought process and the kind heart just to do that. How amazing. I mean, can you imagine if every single hospital in the country or in the world had a person who has the money and did that on a regular basis? How incredible would that be? I mean, just amazing. Something else that really made me smile, and it's a program I absolutely love. It's something I got into since baby Blue has gone to preschool, but it's This Morning. I love This Morning with Holly and Philip. It always cheers me up because they don't just do your run-of-the-mill sort of this is the papers sort of morning show. It is very much this is a life show, and it's hilarious, and they giggle, they go wrong all the time, they have the best presenters like Addison Hammond, and Ollie Murs comes on it every now and again. It's a great show. If you've not watched it, I really urge you to watch it because it's not all doom and gloom. They do touch on it, obviously. I think everybody is, but they are still keeping light and positive. And when I turned on today, they were doing a This Morning dance along. And what they're doing is they're asking members of the public to send in videos of them dancing to cheer everyone up. And do you know what? It was the best video, and it really it was just euphoric, and I could feel the positive energy just coming off everyone, and it really rubbed off on me, and I'm like, I want to do one of them. It's great. But Anton Deck actually did something on one of their last shows that they did in studio. They got members of the public, celebrities and everything to do them dancing to Ollie Murs. Oh God, I can't even think of the song. Dance With Me Tonight. Ollie Murs Dance With Me Tonight, and he sang live in the studio, obviously at a 2 metre distance, and it was the best thing ever. Ollie was killing himself at some of the people that were in the videos. There were babies, there were grannies, there were hospital workers, there were key workers everywhere. It was just the best video. So yeah, that's the sort of thing we need to focus on. Just keep positive. Anyway, I've got to come to the end of my podcast now, but yeah, I hope we can all find ways to be positive, and I'm going to keep digging out those positive stories for you. I'm going to have loads tomorrow. That's my aim. I'm going to have loads of positive stories for you tomorrow to keep your spirits up, to remind you that there's good in the world and that kindness is the best thing, and will keep this country going. So be kind, be safe, stay in. Take care. Bye.